Okay, good morning, algebra students. It's another day of inequalities. So again, have your calculator out. You probably might need it. Slightly different today. We're just doing multiplication and division. Okay, so again, just have to remember to be careful a little more today. Okay, so don't worry so much. We'll go through these, but again, here we go. Multiplication and division properties apply. Okay, so here we go. Number one, again, like normal, divide, because that's 6 times x, that's the opposite. So we have x is less than -5. So that's my solution. Please now take a moment to make sure -5, the number is on the right, the variable's on the left. I will be taking off if it's not. And then I just really need 3 numbers, -5, -6, -4. People are still doing that wrong. Hollow circle, it's a less than, and shading that way. Okay, that one wasn't too bad. Number 2, divide again to get f by itself. Now you might need your calculator. 48 divided by 16 is actually a nice number. That's 3. 16's cancel. Now, we're not done with our solution yet. The variable has to be on the left. The number has to be on the right. The pointy part is going towards the 3, and the alligator guy's eating the variable. Okay, so again, we have to have the number in the middle and the correct way of a number line. Okay, shaded this time because it's or equal to, and it's greater than. Okay, so just be careful again. Variable has to be on the left. Okay, now, again, now this one for number 3 is -6/7 is less than or equal to 3/7 times f. Remember, you have to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. And multiplying by the reciprocal gets that stuff to cancel. Okay? Now, if you notice for this one, the 7s also cancel. So top times the top, we have a -6 on the top, a 3 on the bottom, that symbol, and an F left. -6/3 is -2. Okay, but again, please notice that the variable needs to be on the left, the number needs to be on the right. It's pointing at the -2, and the alligator is eating the variable. So again, I just need 3 numbers on my numbered line. Fill her in and shade the correct direction by now, hopefully. Okay, pushing that. Now everybody look at number 4. Do you see on number 4, I am dividing by -4. New rule. Are you listening? Okay, that cancels. When I multiply or divide by a negative number, doesn't matter what the answer is, but when the number in red is a negative, and that's because of multiplying or dividing, I flip the sign. Do you see? From here to here, we had a flip because I divided by -4. So this was a flip one. Did you flip? Anytime you multiply or divide, my number's in red. Adding and subtracting doesn't matter. The actual number in the solution doesn't matter. It's what is multiplying or divided. If that number is negative, you got to flip the sign. Okay, so we still have 3, 4, 5 filled in circle, and the variable's on the left anyway, so that's good to go. So that's our new thing today, kind of. Okay. Number 5. Okay, it's x divided by negative 6. So I'm going to multiply by negative 6. Okay, and all that does is cancel that out. So I have an x. Did I multiply or divide by a negative? Is the number I actually wrote in red a negative? Okay, yes, I did. So I got to flip it. And now top times the top gives me negative 6. Bottom times the bottom gives me 3. Again, this is still a negative 2. But again, did you see this was a flip because the number I wrote in red was negative and it happened by multiplication. Okay, so I have negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, hollow circle, and shade it. Okay, number 6 is double doozy. Remember, I like to assign that negative to the top. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. I just like to just assign it to the top. Okay, so the negative times the negative cancels. The 4s cancel, the 1s cancel. So I have a y, and I am multiplying by a negative. So I flip the sign. Now, what happens here? Well, negative 4 times 1 is just negative 4. Okay, but my variable needs to be on the left, number on the right, pointing at the variable, eating the number. So be careful. The flip happened, but then I had to, from here to here, put the variable on the left. Okay, so again, negative 4, negative 5, negative 3. It's not all the time, remember. But those are the tricky kinds, so be careful. Okay, here we go. Now for this one, it's tricky because you want to think divide by negative 4. But I'm going to make that over 1 if need be. Okay, or you can use your calculator, and I'm going to multiply by 1 over negative 4. Why am I doing that? Because this side is a fraction. So it just makes my life a little easier. I can use my calculator and just divide by negative 4, but see, those cancel. So I have x. Is my number in red negative? Yes, it is. So I flip it. Then I get top times the top, bottom times the bottom. Negative and a negative cancel. Okay, so I really have 1/6 here and x. So again, be careful, this flip happened, okay? But now I need to have my variable and my number, my variable on the left, pointing at the x. Okay, so I'm gonna have 1/6, 0/6, 2/6. Be careful on that one. Hollow circle and that way. Okay, now again, this isn't always going to happen. These are just examples of when it's a negative. If I would have multiplied by just a positive or divided by a positive, I don't flip it. If it's only when the number is negative. So kind of the same thing here. Now this time, again, I assign it to the top. I'm multiplying. And again, if this number in red was a positive, I would not flip the sign. Okay, those cancel. So again, only when they're negative. Okay, did I multiply by a negative? Yes, so I do have to flip it. Top times the top, bottom times the bottom. That's also known as x is less than or equal to. If I want to go 10 divided by 4, if I want to change them to a decimal, I can. Variables on the left, but again, if the number in red was just a regular 5/4, I would not do this flipping of the sign. Okay, so this is 2.5, 2.4, 2.6, and then fill it in and go this way. So not all of the problems on your homework today you're going to flip. You're going to have to think. So on the homework today, some of them you're going to divide by a normal positive number. or you're going to multiply by a normal positive number. Do not flip the sign. Only if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Okay? Be careful. Check the work as you go. Okay? Have a great day. Let me know if you have questions.